Hi, my friend. What's up? What's up? How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. I'm doing great as well. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 money mistakes I made and what I learned from it. Yeah, this may sound like a vulnerable video because it's not everyone that can just own up to their mistake like and accept that they made a mistake. But I've been there. I've been in a situation where I made the money and then for one or two reasons like I squandered it off like the prodigal son in the Bible, and I learned a lot from it, and I don't want anybody else to make that same mistakes. So let's get right into the video. Mistake number one was living for the aesthetics, like the lifestyle aesthetic. Yeah, there was one certain time. I remember the first time I got a gig on Upwork. Yes, if you don't know, I'm a freelancer. I am a social media manager and marketing strategist. So sometimes I use Upwork to get foreign gigs. So the first time I heard for Upwork, I was feeling like, oh my gosh, this is so much money. I mean, if you convert it to Naira, it's looking like a big amount and all of that. So I splurged on a lot of things that when I think back now, I would just cringe. Like, why did I do something like this? But then I think it's just the feeling of, the first time you are earning like way more than what you used to earn before. So that does vibe, that sweet vibe just maybe to just spend unnecessarily. I spent on clothes, shoes, I bought handbags. I even made like hair that before it would last on a normal day, my braids last between 3 to 4 weeks. But this one, I was just making braids like every 2 weeks because I felt like I have the money now, right? So let me just spend, let me just live in the moment, let me enjoy my money a little bit. Like I started like going out on the weekends. I would just go to one restaurant, like have lunch. Not like having lunch, going on or to a restaurant or taking yourself out on a date is bad per se, but like I was doing it like literally every week. I just spend it splurging unnecessarily. I'll take myself out to a fancy restaurant. I'll go to this trade fair. I'll see something from Instagram. I'll just shop, not minding whether I actually needed that or not. So it was like a mistake I made. The lesson I learned from it is that you have to spend based on how you earn. That you are a freelancer, that you see money today doesn't automatically means that you are richer and that your lifestyle has already changed for the better. You are supposed to invest and think for the rainy days. After all, most of those things you are buying, you want to impress people, you want to look good, you want your friends to know that you've arrived. They don't really care. They don't matter in the long run because I was just doing all those things to just impress my friends, to impress the people around me, because I wanted them to see that, oh, I'm not that always being a broke girl anymore. But then it doesn't really matter. You are not in this life to impress anybody. You're supposed to focus on yourself, mind your business. Once in a while, you can take yourself out, you can spend on yourself, but making that a lifestyle, like splurging, going on a restaurant, going on vacation, buying 3 to 4 weeks that you know that you definitely don't need, is not necessary. So that's a lesson I learned. The second mistake is having no budget and no plan, just thinking I can just wing it. This one is weird. So I used to be this kind of person that once I get my salary, once I get paid, I will just like tackle the immediate bills I have immediately. And then the remaining ones, I'll just spend it unnecessarily, like spend it on things I want. So I don't usually like have a budget in mind. Maybe that when August salary comes in, or maybe September salary comes in, that these are what I need to buy, these are what I need to get. I don't usually have that plan, that budget. My mind just usually thinks, oh, well, I'll just figure it out. I usually just figuring out usually turns into maybe borrowing or asking your parents for money or your friends for money or depending on someone. So it's not a good plan. I've been there, I've done that, and I will tell you that it's not a good place to be. The repercussion of that is that I get paid maybe like this week, and in the next 2 weeks, the money is all gone. Like I can't account for where it went because I didn't have a plan in the first place. So it was that bad. So the lesson I learned is you need to have a budget. Yes, having a budget doesn't mean that you doesn't make you feel like you are extra, you are always like having a plan or things like that. But it really helps you to be accountable for you to know what is necessary. Like I think in economics they taught us then that you have your opportunity cost, you have your needs, you have your wants and stuff like that. So when you sit down and arrange, you can discover that this is a certain amount I'm supposed to bring out for investment. This is a certain amount I'm supposed to bring out for my savings. This is like an emergency fund, things like that. It doesn't matter if you're earning a small amount, you can still budget, you can still have a plan. So it's something I learned. and I hope you learn it too. So I don't know, what job do you do? What do you do? How do you make your money? Please tell me in the comments. I would really love to know. Doing this, I usually use for my savings and maybe having investment. I use a number of apps. I use Piggyvest, I use RiseVest, I use Optimus. So it's not compulsory you may have all the apps for 10. Anyone can work, maybe one or two can work, so that you can divide your money or your salary into what is needed or not. Once you divide the income and maybe your expenditure, anyone that is remaining, you can decide to maybe splurge it on anything, because you know that if there is an unforeseen expenses, that it's already accounted for. Like you have an emergency fund to put your hand where you need it. Number 3 mistake I made was be the family's ATM and loan shark. Like, oh my gosh, I'm the first daughter, I'm the first child of the family. So this a kind of trap that once I get my pay, there is always this feeling or this pressure to send money to everybody, send money to your mom, send money to my brother, send money to my sister. Even when they did not ask for it, I'll just feel that pressure, like I'm supposed to send this money. Or sometimes they call you and they ask you to lend them money. And we all know that siblings are this kind of weird, that sometimes you lend them money and they don't pay it back. There is nothing you are going to do. Even if you arrest them, you are still going to be the one to go bail them from the police station. So that was one mistake I made. Like always being the family's loan shark, being the person that they'll always ask for money. You're always sending money to them. You cannot say no ever to them. Saying no to your family doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you are being intentional about how you spend your money. Because trust me, you'll cry in the long run. So the lesson I learned is that you can't burn yourself to keep other people warm. You can't do it. It's not wise. You might think that you are doing it, that you are making it yourself to be the best, to be a good person, but I assure you it's not a good idea, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill yourself up first before you give back to others. You're supposed to invest in yourself. Even if you have maybe leftover from your salary or your pay, what happened to investments? What happened to savings? What happened to other things you need to get? It's not compulsory for you to spend it on your siblings. You can still keep that money somewhere, or maybe use it to start up a business or stuff like that. So for now, what I do is I only give money when I'm 100% comfortable with it. If my siblings ask me for money, if my mom asks me for money, and I know that me partying with such and so amount really make me cry, like I did cry financially, I honestly tell them, I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable sending this, or I don't have this amount of money, or could you hold on, later I can send it. Yeah, that's what I do. And if it's something like a loan, we usually put it in writing. And I save a copy, hold a copy, so that I'm sure that this is an agreement we made and this is how much you're going to be paying me back. Of course, I won't charge interest, because I don't think it's a good thing to charge my family member interest, or maybe my friend an interest. But what I know is we usually put it down in writing, or maybe my friends, we put it down in writing, so that we know that this is a formal agreement. And it also makes the person to have it in the back of their mind that they are going to pay it back. Our mistake is not investing early. Oh my gosh, if I started investing when I started earning money, I think by now I should be a millionaire. I should have a house in Banana Island. I should have invest. I was always leaving my money in savings. Like I would just leave it in savings, especially I would just leave it in the bank, and it would just be there. I didn't start like investing early. I used to think that, oh, I need to have like millions before I would invest. But not knowing that all those small 5,000, 3,000, 10,000 naira that you have, you can actually invest with it. There are mutual funds, there are treasury bills that you can buy using maybe apps like maybe Bamboo or Piggyvest or Cowrywise. You can buy those treasury bills and those mutual funds, and you will definitely gain from it maybe in 2 years time, 3 years time, 5 years time, 10 years time. So it was a mistake I made. I was thinking that investing is only for people that have already made it big, that like have gotten all the money that I needed. I didn't know that I was supposed to start investing like early. I think another thing that made it like that is I was like always scared of not having money. Like I was only scared of this money will finish, and I didn't like invest, not knowing that inflation happens. Like every day the cost of things keep increasing. So the only way for you to survive is for you to invest. Start investing early. Even if you have 5,000 naira in your account that you're not doing anything with right now, please go and invest. Download these apps I've been mentioning and start investing. So the lesson I learned is that you have to start investing early, and all those small interests that you get from those investments will give you that sense of satisfaction. I don't know, but every month when I receive my interest from those apps I have like investment or anything, there's this happiness and joy that I just feel inside me. Like I just love it. I don't know if any other person feels like that, but I feel like that. Although the investment you can actually start with, you can buy treasury bills. I use Bamboo for that. You can buy treasury bills. You can buy as low as 10,000, 20, 30, 40. Then another one is stocks. You could buy foreign stocks, domestic stock. I have not tried the stocks, but I am going to be trying it very soon. So I've had so many people say that investing in stock is good and they get high returns. Then if you're someone that knows about crypto, forex trading and all of that, you can also invest in that. So it really helps. You could make like good money from that. Although if you're investing, you should have at the back of your mind that everything is not like I want to get the money fast. You know, that kind of feeling. Then next thing that you should do, another thing that you could also do to help you is to have like multiple sources of income, maybe like a side hustle, things like that. Like something that you can just like have small money or small income coming in for you. So that's also what I would have like. Not building an emergency fund, like not building an emergency fund. Immediately the salary comes, you just spend it off. And if something like happens, something unforeseen, like maybe you fall sick and you need to pay for maybe your medical bills, you don't have any money on you. You don't have like that emergency fund saved somewhere. So it was a mistake I made. But then I've learned that when you are budgeting or maybe when you are planning what you are supposed to do with your salary, you are supposed to set aside a particular part of your pay or your income for emergencies. Those ones are strictly for emergencies. Because trust me, your gas might finish in the middle of the night, or maybe when your salary has not been paid. Doesn't mean you will cook, or maybe you need to pay for a water bill, or maybe you need to like seriously travel somewhere. Like emergencies come up every time. So what are you going to do? Would you go around always borrowing? So that's why you need to have emergency fund. And I also think of it this way, that what if like something happens back home and they need like a financial assistance? Are you always going to tell them, oh, wait till I get paid? So it doesn't really look good for me. So always have an emergency fund, even if it is 10 or 15% of your salary, just keep it somewhere, just in case. So making these mistakes helped me to become more financially wise, because we all know the Nigerian economy is not smiling, and you have to be financially literate. You have to be wise about money. It's no longer about, oh, I can just wing it, oh, God will provide. Yes, God will definitely provide, but you have to be smart. You have to be money smart. You have to be money wise to know that this is how to manage money. Because if you're not money wise, if you're not financially literate, if you're not financially smart, even if you are giving like a huge amount of money, you won't still know how to make use of it to do anything productive. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. Please remember to subscribe, share, and like. See you next time, my friend.